And he's going to take that as a win.
2% of people.
He's taking that as a win.
Why? Because 6.8% of people didn't know?
No, I will not take it as a win if it's ever the most lopsided poll in the history of the station. So I got to 98 points something.
It's like 97%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
And what was that one? I know it was at one point, Are People Dumb?
It was
Our People Dumb was a while. And
But I think we surpassed that at some
one of them
point.
broke it. I can't remember which one broke it.
So that's a lie. People are lying.
What?
Yeah, there's no way it's 93%.
Lie?
Yes.
This is news to me.
Yes.
Did you see the Kyle Shanahan situation going on with the 49ers?
With the injury?
Yes.
He's a liar. There's a lot of liars out there.
I think he is lying. You know what it made me think of, guys? You ever see Almost Famous?
Yeah.
You know the kid, he writes the article, he's with them, the plane's going down, the guy jumps off the roof into the pool. The kid writes about all of it for Rolling Stone, right? And then the fact checkers call him to see, hey, this is a great article that this kid put together. William Miller, his pen name, I think. Maybe his real name. I can't remember. It's been a while. And he denies the whole thing. And the woman comes into the meeting and she's like, lies. You lied. Russell denied it. He denied the whole thing. He denied the whole story. That is all I could think of as I was watching the 49ers situation unfold. However, just to bring it a little more locally, and I'm not going to go where you think I'm going to go. I'm going to go somewhere else. How do we feel about accountability? Are we pro accountability or are we out on accountability?
I don't think there's accountability anymore.
Anywhere?
Rich coming from the guy who's not held accountable here.
That's true. Gabe gets punished when you get in trouble, and you're talking about accountability, a lack of accountability.
I'll admit when I'm wrong. Is that a lie?
Hold on.
Can you cover a lie with another lie?
Now I feel like Maury Povich. Let me pull the card out. The lie detector test said that is a lie.
You just gave yourself a win when 93% of people were against you. Moments ago.
All right. So outside of Chewy, are we pro accountability?
15% of the people just did it for spite.
You think?
Yes. Everyone piles on.
We didn't even,
Everybody piles on.
But we didn't even put in the question that you didn't know it, right? It'd be one thing if we kind of like led the audience.
Yeah. Hey,
led
Chewy
the witness.
didn't know this. Did you know
We
this?
literally just put it out there
Well,
as a blank inquiry.
Let me CYA here. I've never seen.
See, MA probably.
I've never seen the Star Wars after the original ones. So
Okay.
all the ones that came after that, I
Yep.
have no idea. I guarantee 70% of those people. What was it was Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back,
Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm. I guarantee after that, a lot of people didn't know that James Earl Jones.
Well, because
was the
James
voice.
Earl Jones is only in like.
Well,
I mean,
that's what I was saying.
He sparingly shows up because he's the voice of Darth Vader in the original, and spoiler alert, he dies at the end of Return of the Jedi. So it's not like he was going to be in the sequels because the character is dead.
Right.
So he makes a couple of cameo appearances here and there, but he's most famously Darth Vader in the three that you have referenced.
And again, I don't want to spend the whole show on this.
We could.
But I am enjoying it right now.
Yeah.
He's got a very distinctive voice. Like, even through the...
Yeah, but the breathing is very distracting.
Even through the breathing, it's a very distinctive voice. It's like you're not mixing it up with other vocalists.
He's
like
not Seth MacFarlane who can do all these different voices that he does with all the different characters.
Hank Azaria.
Yes. He's not one of these character actors with his voice.
Alan Tudyk or Tudyk or whatever that guy's name
You
is.
hire James Earl Jones because you want the James Earl Jones voice.
Can you pull a clip from the original?
He's working on it. He's efforting as we speak.
I guarantee. It's just, no.
It sounds exactly like
All right.
James Earl Jones.
Oh, God, this is going to be fun. The anticipation is killing
I'll
me.
admit when I'm wrong.
Will ya?
Half a cup.
I've always said Takes a big man to admit when you're wrong. I am not a big man.
Joshy will let us know when he gets the James Earl Jones.
We got ads really taking up my
Love
time here.
the ads.
It's making me mad.
Love the ads. The ads jump into the old YouTube channel. Speaking of YouTube, you can always watch the show on YouTube. Our ESPN Milwaukee channel streams you the show every single day. I ask about accountability as Joshy continues to effort the James Earl.
Commander, tear this ship apart until you found those plans and bring me the passengers. I want them alive.
Kinda.
Vader, the fleet has moved out to flight speed and we're preparing to...
You have failed me for the last.
He does. Sorry, I apologize. I'm an idiot. Okay.
Wow.
That is a $1,000,000%. He's not even disguising it a little bit. That is a $1,000,000% James Earl Jones voice. So it leads me to believe that you actually have not seen the films at all.
It's been, it's been probably since the 80s. It's been a while.
Well, I ask about accountability because yesterday the Green Bay Packers, and again, I'm not going to go where you think I'm going to go. I'm going to go to social media. The Green Bay Packers Twitter account put out a tailgating food poll. And famously on Twitter polls, you get how many options, Gabe? How many selections can you put there for the audience to choose from?
4.
And how many did they utilize?
3.
Interesting.
I can explain it away when you're done.
Thank you. Let me finish setting it up, and then I will allow you to unspool. They put on the poll, what is the most elite tailgating food? And burgers was an option, hot dogs was an option, and chicken wings was an option. And here in the great state of Wisconsin, Gabe, what should have been an option?
Well, I don't know if you know this. You know, tailgating culture here, whether we're talking about Brewers, whether we're talking about Packers. Pretty, famously here, the BRAT seems to be something that people lean towards and request. And BRAT was not an option on the Packers Twitter poll.
You want me to explain it away now? Whoever put this poll together was not from Wisconsin. I come from Massachusetts. I have never heard of a BRAT before in my life until I came here.
Sure.
I've never heard of them.
Great.
They don't sell brats on the East Coast. They might now. You might have to search for them, but they don't sell brats. It's all Italian, Polish, all that. Brats are fine.
Yeah, okay.
They're fine. And here's my point. If they were so great, why don't they sell them anywhere else in the country?
Right, but this was a Green Bay Packers tailgating poll.
But the person who put the poll together, I guarantee, is not from Wisconsin.
Now, my counter
Probably
to
not from the Midwest.
My counter to your counter, how quickly did you realize that a BRAT was a thing? Because I'm assuming it was a part of the welcome package
right away,
when you arrived to Green Bay.
But I'll tell you this.
Here's your custard, cheese, curds, and
I'll tell
brat.
you this, though. You guys put it on the text chain, the poll. Mm-hmm. I didn't immediately go to brats.
Well, it wasn't an option.
I know, but I didn't sit there and go, how can't they have brats on there?
Oh, you weren't aggrieved like so many people were,
Not
because the comment section to that poll is a very fun place to hang around in for a few minutes.
This is like borscht. It's the same thing with borscht.
Are you comparing brats to borscht?
Borscht is big in Poland.
Okay.
Huge.
Hey,
Brats are big in Germany.
I could follow
Tailgates in
this.
Poland, my guess is there's probably some borscht somewhere.
So if
You're telling me before the big soccer match in Poland, they're going, hey, come by for some borscht before we go into the stadium.
That's my point. Yes.
Listen, having never been there, I don't know.
deny it.
I don't know. It's possible. I don't want to sit here and say it's absolutely not true. I just am not sure. So take it one step further now, right? People are like going, hey, what about brats? Hey, have you ever heard of brats? Hey, brats should be on this list. Hey, I enjoy brats at my tailgate. And the Green Bay Packers social media account got very defensive, responding to people from the Green Bay Packers social media account, basically defending their omission of the brat. So I ask about accountability, guys. How should the Green Bay Packers social team have handled this once people were like, hey, you had 4 choices, you only used 3, brat should have been on there, you done messed up.
The post that they threw out there was, wow, the fact that you're all diminishing brats to only, in all caps, tailgate food Brats are a lifestyle. If anything is disappointing about this post, it's you.
So, as a
Did you
rebuttal
like that post?
to that,
It seems like something you.
That's stupid. That's just like, hey, I just admitted I was wrong for the first time in a long time. They could do the same because they should. They should say, yes, we were I don't know.
But that would be like saying, like, what is your beverage of choice at a tailgate and omitting beer?
Yes.
And then being like,
Do you like milk?
beer?
What about water?
I can't believe it.
Yeah, this
Beer
is
is a
bad.
lifestyle. That'd be like, sure, it could be a lifestyle. For many people in Wisconsin, it is the beverage of choice. But I also enjoy a cold brewski at the tailgate, guys. So guess what? Put it on the list. Like, that's why I ask about accountability. Should the Green Bay Packers have been like, oopsie poopsie,
Yes.
my bad, we forgot about brats, let's do the whole thing over again?
Yes, 1,000%.
I mean, there's still time to delete it.
Is that their MO in the building?
Look.
I said I wasn't going there, but that doesn't stop anyone else from
Look,
going
this
there.
this is just fun on social media, and a lot of team accounts and brands have. I mean, Wendy's is the first one who like famously did this, where they would just roast people on Twitter.
Yes.
So I think they're trying to go for the funny, hey, we messed up, but we're now going to spin this on you. But when you're not an account that's known for that, it can backfire quickly.
Well, because people were saying, don't get snarky with your fans,
Yeah.
right? Like, even if they
Yeah.
were being, and look, social media, take it for what it is, right? Obviously, we're having a little bit of fun with it this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, but ultimately the goal for many people, for many sites, for many accounts is engagement. And one way to boost engagement is to just have an egregious omission.
Get ratioed.
Right? Like what of the first four letters of the alphabet, which is your favorite? A, B, C, or F? You know what people are going to do? F is not a first four letter of the alphabet. Are you guys dumb? Did you forget about D? You know what I'm saying? Boop, bada boop, bada bop, bada bop, and you get all that response and engagement, and then all of a sudden, well, you win the day.
Is this the equivalent of it probably is the equivalent of Buffalo not putting chicken wings on their tailgate
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
It is akin.
pole,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. If they
Because
ran
I
this,
looked at chicken wings and I'm like, I don't know, chicken wings at a tailgate sounds like a lot of work.
yeah, and again, about the only place you see it and is Buffalo.
Yes.
Because, well, guess what they're famous for?
You think they did this intentionally?
I think someone messed up.
And
Yeah.
when someone messes up, we should
Hold them accountable.
hold them accountable.
Unless they're
you
Chewy.
should be able to say. So I do have somebody on the ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line. Remember, you can always jump into the conversation on the talk and text line, 800-990-3776. Mike in Hattiesburg saying, isn't one of the Packers' major sponsors Johnsonville?
That's correct. Yes. Uh-huh. Yep. Mhm. They got a tailgate house out in front and everything.
Yeah, that's a miss.
I don't believe, I could be wrong, I don't believe Johnsonville produces any of those three things.
They do make brat burgers, brat patties.
Yeah, they made brat patties.
You're right,
That's
yep.
correct. Yep.
Those are very good, by the way.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
almost
yeah.
take a brat patty over I will a brat. They're good.
What's the difference? Your argument is that they're too bland, so you just flatten it and now it's not bland?
I don't think the
Got you there.
patties. I don't think the patties are as bland as the brats. I gotta have one of yours.
Okay.
What do you do to them?
Well, so usually if I go to, so I'll get Bunzel's.
Yes.
The go-to at Bunzel's is the honey mustard cheddar.
Yes.
So there's the honey mustard and cheddar in there, and then I'm grilling them at a low temp.
Yeah.
And then I'm brushing them occasionally with beer.
That's enough
Yeah.
just to brush them.
Yeah.
Some people go the full bath with the beer. And
You don't want to
then
do that. That loses texture. It makes them too soggy.
with probably those specifically. The other ones you can do it right. You grill them up.
If you're putting them in after,
Yes.
If you're bringing them to temp by boiling them in
Yes.
beer, never do that.
No.
Yeah. If you want to keep them warm in beer,
Yeah,
by
yeah,
all
yeah,
means,
you're
go
right,
ahead and
you're
do
right.
that. Don't boil them first in beer.
Yeah.
Don't
I will,
do that.
however, say his argument is that brats are bland, and you just named 3 ingredients in the brats, including cheese and
Yeah.
honey mustard. So I guess
Yes.
that's 1, but honey is 1, and mustard is 2, and cheese is 3. So that's 3 things they've added to the brat to enhance the experience. To be fair,
Sure, but I mean, you could do that with a regular brat too. Regular brats are delicious. But again, the honey mustard cheddar at Bunzel's, those are the go-to. Those are the undisputed.
Dave from Aaron weighing in saying, Packers social media should have said we can't put brats on the list because it would run away with the poll.
That would have been a good cover.
Better than lifestyle?
Yeah, that's better than turning it against everybody else and saying, hey, this is your fault that we forgot this.
How are we also supposed to parse out? Now, we'll hear it coming back here. Chewy's whole thing for borscht is it's bland, but it's good. And
no,
pierogies.
It's not bland. It's vinegary.
Yeah, but like bland is a good thing for you when you want it to be, but also not good when it's brats?
No, I'll say Polish food sucks. I'll say.
So what, it's just a nostalgic thing for you because you're Polish?
Yeah, there's just something. I think Polish people just love vinegar, But it brings me back to my mother's feet, which were disgusting, sitting on the couch with her. Like, ugh. Sorry, I digress.
You think?
It's true.
Oh, Jesus.
Look, we're all scarred from our childhood in some
I don't
form
need to be
or
scarred by
fashion.
your childhood.
Again, he's got you there. We got to take a break on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Don't forget we have Adam Schefter at the bottom of the hour. Sophia Minnaert is going to join the show as well today to talk about the Brew Crew. They got a victory last night. Stick around.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
We are looking at a pretty standard ride right now. Westbound 94 slowing down from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound 94, a pocket of heavy traffic from 84th Street to about 68th, and then back on the brakes through the Stadium Interchange. Westbound 894 is going to be a bit heavy out of the Mitchell Interchange towards 68th Street through that construction zone. Traffic is brought to you by 2 Men in a Junk Truck. Have unwanted clutter or junk? Go to 2meninAjunkTruck.com for a free, no obligation estimate. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, hazy, warm, a high of 84. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 62. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Ever dreamed of teeing off inside American Family Field? Now's your chance with Upper Deck Golf. From November 7th through the 9th, experience a one-of-a-kind round of golf, hitting tee shots from the upper deck throughout the stadium to custom greens below. Enjoy VIP treatment with great music, cold beers, food, and golf challenges at the Clubhouse Festival inside the stadium. Upper Deck is open to all ages, but tee times are limited, so book now. Head to upperdeckgolfing.com to book a tee time today.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like Bear Dynasty interior paint, their most durable one-coat hide paint ever. From a team color statement wall to a fan cave, complete with a mural honoring Nick Saban's 17-year dynasty.
Hey, I like that idea.
Nothing beats Bear Dynasty interior paint. It's everything you need all in one can.
Defend your game time with Bear and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Valid only when intended to colors from the Bear Dynasty and Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Color Collection.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. Hop in or hop online at uwcu.org to join.
With this Badger Minute, I'm Jesse Nelson. The good news, Wisconsin is 2-0 for the first time since 2020. The bad news, there still seems to be a lot of work to do with Alabama coming to Camp Randall Stadium this weekend. Head coach Luke Fickell after Saturday's win over South Dakota on what lies ahead this week.
Top team in college football in the last 20 years. I mean, you'll be challenged in a completely different way. We know darn well what's walking in here, and we had enough work to be able to, make sure we were on the right page and finding ways to win the first couple games, but it'll be a heck of a week for us.
Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Offer on September 30th, so visit PellaWI.com today.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Hey, everyone who I let try borscht likes it. They don't love it, but it's a liver.
What an endorsement.
This is your
But
pitch.
hold on.
Hey, yeah, like, guys, good luck. I don't even have to talk anymore.
On 94.5 ESPN.
One day closer to game day, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. Why does it sort of feel like we are slow marching towards our death the closer we get to this Packers game against the Colts this weekend?
Because it's football season. We're excited for football season.
Very.
And a lot of times the reason that people are excited for their teams is because they have a good quarterback.
Which Green Bay does. Just happens to be
We don't have a
injured
good quarterback for this week.
right now.
Probably the next week.
Healthy.
Hopefully in 3 weeks we have a good
Active.
quarterback.
Yes, exactly.
I'm not writing him off.
What?
No, I'm not writing
Hey,
him
good
off.
for you.
No, I'm not writing him off. I mean, LaFleur's got to be spot on with his game plan, but still defensively. I mean, the Colts offense, yeah, it's good. It's not Philadelphia. I can tell you that. It's not Philadelphia.
No. But like,
They just need a little luck, Gabe. They need a little luck. They need a little luck. They need to hit a long ball early so they just can't sit in there and load the box against Taylor.
So you're telling me LaFleur's walking in today and going, hey, guys, we just need a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
We can pull this thing off on Sunday.
Need a little Christmas guy over here, it feels like.
I mean,
Start
Right
waving
this
your
very
arms.
minute.
hold on.
Vegas
for the most
It could
part-
happen.
Vegas, for the most part, is pretty spot on with lines.
Yeah.
Right? And the fact that it's only 3, does that mean it's 6, really?
Yeah, I mean, on
Because three
a
for-
neutral field.
So if they were playing in Brazil again, it'd be 6.
Sure.
Gabe, you just lost. You got booted out of your league in the first week because New England beat Cincinnati.
That's true.
Who in the hell thought that was going to happen?
Nobody.
I mean, do I feel great? No. Do they have a chance? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But as Gabe has so astutely noted, thus far, the resume we have, the film we have, the information we have, the data points we have, all of those things indicate that Malik Willis stinks.
He does stink. He does.
Your Honor, I rest my case.
Let me ask you this, though.
I have yet to hear you make a compelling case.
Here's my case.
Other than luck.
Here's my case. Okay, this is my case. You know, they do these preseasons best rosters top to bottom.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm. How much does a quarterback account in that positioning of the rosters?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let's think of what would you say, 30%? Could I make a 30% argument?
Yeah, probably something like that.
So my guess is the Packers were probably roster-wise 10-12. Colts were probably 18-19.
Okay.
So obviously, if you're saying the quarterback accounts for 30%, the Colts jump them by some. I mean, Richardson's not the greatest.
Oh, I'd trade him.
quarterback out there.
I'd
Oh, of
trade him
course, you
starting
trade him for
quarterbacks.
Malik Willis.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I mean, if they were playing Buffalo, I'd be like, it's probably not going to be great.
Malik Willis is probably the top 2 candidates, and they're going to be up there for a while for throw of the year.
And I don't have the audio from yesterday. Frankly, as we discussed yesterday with Jason Wilde, I don't think Matt LaFleur said a lot of real compelling stuff. But one of the things that he did say was, when asked why Malik over Sean Clifford, because Chewy, you made the point, Sean Clifford at least has been in the offense, knows the plays, knows the offense, knows the schemes, tendencies, whatnot. His response was, because Malik's on the roster and he's our number 2 quarterback, and that's the way we're going to roll. He didn't say he gives us the best chance to win. He didn't say, right, like that. He's on the roster. He's our number 2 guy. It's kind of like when you say, well, this is the way we've always done things, so this is the way we'll continue doing things. Like, that's not a good reason. Am I right, Gabe?
I think by putting him as the number 2 quarterback, they're saying this is the guy we trust. This is the guy who's better in this situation. By making the trade, they decided that he is better than Sean Clifford.
I think what they're doing is they're like, this guy can at least scramble and run. So in order for us to win, he's got to make a handful of plays outside the pocket. Clifford would be a sitting duck. They would blitz him, get him outside the pocket where he's not very good. Right? At least I understand the reasoning. They're going to throw him to the wolves. And LaFleur, I'm sure, saying 1-2 run. 1-2, get me 3 yards.
Man, I'm looking at this Malik Willis game log.
Go ahead and share. Why don't you share with the class?
It's bleaker than I thought. He's never thrown for 100. He started 3 times. He started 3 games in the NFL. Most yards he ever threw for in a game? 99.
So let me ask you this, Gabe. If someone were going to Potawatomi this evening for, I don't know, the Weekly Wager show, and there were an over-under for Malik Willis for passing yards, are you telling me to take the under? Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Depends upon if the number's 80, take the over. If we start getting closer to like 150, I don't know if I'm taking the over.
We're going to find out.
Did the line move at all?
No, it's sitting at 3 right now.
Well, then, yeah.
Sitting at 3.
Yeah, look, this. You know what this is, Jen? You got to get home because the plumber's coming and the highway's shut down, and you got to go the back way, or this guy's leaving. Means you have to hit every green light. You hit 3 red lights on the way home, it's over. Can happen.
Right, that's how
God, I love it when he metaphors for us. It's one of my favorite things on the show.
So Malik Willis did start a game against the Houston Texans back in 2022. They won 17-10, where he was 6 of 10 for 55 yards with an interception. They did win that game. Derrick Henry also had 219 yards and 2 touchdowns, but I digress.
You think we'll see Clifford?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
When would we see Clifford? It's got to be bad. It's got to be no points at halftime.
4 picks.
No points at halftime?
5 picks halfway through the fourth.
I think it's more an inability to move the offense.
This is their ride or die, man. They're rolling with him.
I know they're rolling with him.
We got to get to break. We have Adam Schefter coming up. Lots of reaction rolling in on the ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line. We will get to some of that reaction as the show rolls on. We'll be right back after this.
Relive the greatest postseason run in Milwaukee Bucks history with the Bucks in 6 podcast. Bucks in 6 presents a special series commemorating the Bucks title run from 2021. From the thrilling 7-game series against the Nets to the 50-piece from Giannis in the finals, immerse yourself in the sounds of each playoff round. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Got a couple of issues out on the road right now. First of all, 94 eastbound, right about at 68th Street. We got a crash off on the left shoulder. Going to be tight from the zoo interchange past that point. Then more delays through the stadium. The other accident is going to be on northbound 4394. Just as you're getting into the Plainfield curve, it is off on the right shoulder. So watch out for delays from the Mitchell interchange. More delays then north of the Holt Avenue up towards Oklahoma. Westbound 94 backing up from the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And southbound 43 just a little bit backed up from Hampton Avenue to Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny and hazy, warm, a high of 84. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 62. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
With NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you can watch every game, every Sunday, all in one place. Which means you can watch the Dolphins, and the Broncos, and the Lions, and the Cowboys, and the Jets. Or whoever you're rooting for, all in your living room. But not literally, of course. That would be dangerous. Watch every game, every Sunday with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Sign up at youtube.com/NFLST. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
It's Wrangler season out there. T-shirt days, denim jacket nights. A pair of broken-in jeans you could live in. Open roads, endless horizons, no destinations. This is when adventure starts calling. And you need to be ready in jeans that are made for the unpredictable journey that we call life. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Now, Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to now.
Are you ready to unleash the beast? Monster Energy is here to give you the edge this college tailgate season. Loaded with bold flavors, our powerful blend gives you the energy you need to push you beyond your limits. Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice-cold Monster and dominate your competition. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Grab yours today.
The Island invites you to fall into golf with late season rounds at Sweetgrass or Sage Run. The vibrant fall colors and cooler temperatures make for great days out on the golf course. Fall golf rates run September 16th through the end of the 2024 season, with tee time starting at $75 and stay and play packages starting at $110. And submit your 2025 golf package request early to guarantee choice dates. Plan your fall golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com. Everyone's go-to source for all NFL news.
Adam Schefter teased some big breaking news. Adam, you've told us about it. What do we got?
Adam's on the phone. Adam, you got more news? What do you got?
They're going with another move.
And he was the man who knows all, Adam Schefter.
And we're going to get right to some breaking news here that just came down. This tweet from Adam Schefter.
It's ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter.
Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years. Let's get this deal in the books. Let's get it done the way we want, structure it. If you're Jordan Love, you're banking all that guaranteed money. You're set. You're set for life. So, again, I think both sides win.
Adam Schefter on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Also sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
Always a thrill to talk to our friend Adam Schefter, particularly on a week when we're all a little uneasy. Good morning, Adam. How are you doing today?
Good morning, everybody. How are we doing?
Packers fans are flying pretty high headed into week one against Philadelphia. And if the game had ended before it actually ended, I think they would have walked away pretty satisfied with how the team looked. But of course, Jordan Love gets hurt, and now they are without him. What is the latest you're hearing on the timetable for his return?
I always thought it was going to be 3 to 4 weeks. And I think if you look at it, what it means to me is that they play Indianapolis at home this week. They play at Tennessee, and they play Minnesota at home. Now, let's see how he is recovering. Let's see how he's rehabbing. Let's see how he progresses or doesn't progress. But I always felt like that game against Minnesota would be the game that would be marked on the calendar, a home game against the Vikings. Now, again, it's nice to just think that and say that. It's another thing to actually do it and be practical about it. But I think that would be, in my mind, a target date that he might be able to try to get back for if he's okay. And look, let's be honest also. If Malik Willis can go out and play well and they could find a way to win a game or two, that might make Jordan Love and the organization a little less anxious. Although they're going to be always very careful and conservative anyway when it comes to medicals. But if they start losing, you just wonder if that's going to speed up things in his mind, Jordan Love.
Adam, what can you tell us about Malik Willis? Was he going to make the team in Tennessee if they didn't trade him?
You know, I don't know whether he would have or wouldn't have. My guess is he would have, but he was a commodity as a talented third quarterback. Clearly, they preferred to go with Mason Rudolph, which is why he was available, and they felt like Malik Willis, his talent was enough that they could get something back for him, which they did from Green Bay. And when Malik Willis was coming out, there were a lot of people who thought at that time that he would wind up going in the first round, and he didn't. He slipped some in the draft, and he's been in Tennessee, and the talent is there. And obviously the Packers saw something in him that they identified that they felt like would be valuable to have. But let's be honest, this is not a position that I think any team wants to find itself in. You don't want to lose your starting quarterback, the highest paid player in football, and have to turn to any backup quarterback, period.
Adam, a lot of comments about the playing surface on Friday in Sao Paulo. The league doesn't care about that, right? Like it's done, it's passed. They
care, but what do you want to do? Like,
well, but I'm just saying I don't think they care in that. I mean, if they cared, the surface wouldn't have been what it was. Like, we've seen this in other stadiums before, and the league just doesn't seem to really care about whatever surfaces they're on.
Well, the Super Bowl, the 49ers were all worked up about the condition of their practice fields. Like, they were a disaster in their minds. And they complained to the league, and the league was like, hey, this is what it is. We feel like they're ready and in good condition. And the 49ers vehemently disagreed, and they went and had to practice on those fields all week long. And in this particular case, I think the league does what it can to ensure or to try to make sure that the field is in as good a shape as it is. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But in this particular case, everybody could see it was slippery. And then it's up to teams to make adjustments with the footwear that they wear. And it's not ideal. I don't know that the condition of the field contributed to Jordan Love's injury at the end. Do you?
No, I don't. It was just kind of a general comment, guys.
Adam,
I mean, I saw a couple of pictures of those end zones, Adam, after the game, and there were chunks of turf missing out of it. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah. I mean, Jordan's injury was what it was at the end. It had nothing to do with the field. This is just in general.
But Adam, I'm also blown away on how many players wear molded cleats. I've never worn a molded cleat on grass before. I've always worn 7 studs, and I understand why players do, because the theory back then was, you're at more risk of hurting your knee if you wear a molded cleat as opposed to a 7 stud. But I mean, there's just no traction with a molded cleat, and I think that's part of the reason why.
Was Jordan Love wearing a molded cleat? Do we know,
I don't know, but I saw Saquon Barkley when he slipped on the first play of the game or second play of the game. He's wearing a molded cleat, and I'm like, how is a running back you wear a molded cleat? I think they're just terrible.
See, you know what? But true, you would know that far more than I. Like, I don't wear molded cleats to work, right? Like, you've had experience with this stuff. So
I think you should. I think you should start doing that, Adam.
You know who does is Jim Harbaugh. I've seen Jim Harbaugh wearing cleats on the
you can make it a
sideline.
Michigan thing, Adam.
See, exactly.
Well, you know what? Let me see if I get some molded cleats for Monday night.
Just start walking around on it. But give it a couple of inches. That's the space that I know about. How can I get taller on television? What was your biggest takeaway from week 1? Obviously, you had the dynamic kickoff. You got new coaches. We mentioned Harbaugh, obviously. Rookie quarterbacks, how they perform, rookie wide receivers. What was your biggest takeaway from week 1 of the NFL action?
Jen, it is hard to narrow it down to one, but let me give you a couple of things off the top of my head. Talked about some of this in my podcast today, but the Chiefs look like they're going to be better than they were in either of the last 2 years when they won the Super Bowl. That's number one. Like, they look like they've got a lot of weapons. They look like they're the real deal. That's the upside, I think, or a positive story. The one story that got my attention this weekend was Daniel Jones struggled and was booed. Bryce Young got lit up in New Orleans, and Deshaun Watson struggled. And so let's just look at all 3 of those situations in Cleveland, Carolina, and New York. Deshaun Watson had shoulder surgery last November, hasn't played since then, lost his father last week, lost a close friend last week, didn't play in the preseason. There's a whole lot that he had to overcome. And so we're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt for the way he played last week. But he cannot play like that. And he's got to get better or it's going to be a problem. Bryce Young, I was on the way to the airport in San Francisco and I had on, I'm watching some of the games. And so I just saw one highlight. So it's hard to say exactly what happened, but the highlight was Dave Canales, the Panthers' new head coach, walking over to Bryce Young on the bench after he threw an interception. And Bryce Young looked to me when I saw that shot like a defeated guy. Like a guy who lost his confidence. If I'm right, if that is what it is, like, that's a big problem for that franchise. Like, a big problem. They gave up a ton to go trade for him, and he looked beaten to me. And then Daniel Jones, they paid him, and they paid him a lot of money, but in the quarterback market, not really. But he has thrown 2 touchdowns in the last 8 games, I believe. You got New York fans booing him. You got his own team questioning him on the Hard Knocks off-season series. And if he's not going to make it, you know what that means? It means that other people are going to lose their jobs too. So I just, my first thought was like 3 teams where you look like there's quarterback questions, major quarterback questions. And how are they going to respond to them in the weeks to come?
Adam, were you surprised on how bad Deshaun Watson looked?
Yes and no. You know, I thought he actually would bounce back this year. And that's why I say I still think he might. You know, let's not judge him after 1 week, but there were some worrisome signs that you saw in that game. You're like, what if he's not bouncing back? Like, again, they sunk $230 million guaranteed into him. It's a lot of money to get past.
Let me jump on that really quick, Gabe, because obviously we all saw on Monday that there are new allegations against Deshaun Watson. I don't want to get into all the details of that here on this program, but there are questions now, Adam, about whether or not the Browns could actually get out of his contract. If there's a way that they could void that contract that everybody thinks is an albatross, everybody says you should have buyer's remorse over. Is there a way for the Browns to get out of the Deshaun Watson contract?
Well, there's language in the settlement that he made with the NFL the last time that precludes him from being disciplined unless it's something that's entirely new. Now, is this something that's entirely new? Is this the same as it was? I don't know. The league would have to figure that out. You know, it sounds like more of the same to me. It's certainly the same attorney. So let's see over time. My guess is no, but again, everybody's taking a look at it and investigating it, and we'll see how that shakes out.
2 points of emphasis heading into this season, Adam, and you saw one on display on Thursday night with procedural penalties against the Ravens and Chiefs for not having offensive linemen far enough up. And after I watched that game on Thursday, I was terrified for the rest of the week. Do you think the league, coaches across the league, saw that game on Thursday and said, we got to make sure everybody's up? And the other one was hip drop tackles, and I don't think I saw a single hip drop tackle flag this weekend.
Yeah, that's interesting, right? Because on the first thing, I think that the league sometimes emphasizes points of emphasis, and they try to make sure that they are telling teams in their way, we're not going to take this year. And so they called a lot of those penalties early on. But then on the hip drops, you didn't see any of those penalties called. And I did see a hip drop tackle on Monday Night Football. They played it early on. I'm trying to remember who it was, but I remember just saying to myself, Juwan Jennings. I said to myself, that's a hip drop tackle like that, and it wasn't penalized. So, I also think it was a little bit of an adjustment the first week for the refs too, not just quarterbacks, and they'll continue to adjust, and we'll see if that's called here moving forward.
Adam, were you surprised on how average the Jets looked, or you just chalked it up to week 1?
Both? How about that? Like, I honestly thought... Well, no, I told people, like, I was talking to a bunch of the Niners before and the Jets before. We're in San Francisco, and I really thought that the Niners were vulnerable and the Jets would be able to play with them, keep it close, and have an opportunity to win the game. And they came out early on and had that drive with Aaron early on where they took the lead, and I said, here we go. This is going to be exactly what I thought. And then it wasn't. It just wasn't. And maybe I was unrealistic in thinking, to the point that I mentioned earlier, that they could just step in there after Aaron Rodgers hadn't played since last September, no preseason action, and just go out and beat the 49ers in San Francisco. I thought that they were going to come out and play a better game than they did. Now, they feel like there were signs and signals that they could improve in a lot of areas. They were not overly concerned. They came out of week 1, even though they won last year, in better shape than they did this year, which they lost. They have their quarterback, and they'll try to build off that. But, yeah, I thought the Jets would have more of an opportunity to win the game Monday night than they wound up having.
Adam, I have a question for you about tailgating. I'm not sure the last time you were out at a tailgate. Not sure if you have a preference when you are tailgating, but the Green Bay Packers put out a poll saying the most elite tailgating food is... And your options are burgers, hot dogs, and chicken wings. Now, you can go off script like many people did and also say bratwurst. Of those options, what is the most elite tailgating food?
Oof. Jen, I don't often go to tailgate parties. I do when I'm back in Ann Arbor. By the way, was that coordinated? Because you asked me about tailgate parties, just as Gabe and Chewy are drinking from their jugs. It looked like it was coordinated. It looked like it was some kind of commercial we're shooting or spot.
5, 6, 7, 8. No, it was not. I know.
Right? At the same time, everybody's drinking. We're talking about tailgate parties. What's going on here? So,
perfect.
That was the first thing I noticed. I'm like, am I being set up here? Am I being punked? Is this some sort of spot? But I would say, it depends. If I'm in Wisconsin, I'm going to have a bratwurst. That's going to be my tailgate food. That's going to be my go-to. If I'm in Ann Arbor, I'm probably going to have a burger. That's the way it's going to be. In fact, if I was in Ann Arbor, I'd even say we're bringing in sandwiches from Zingerman's. That's the way it's going to be. We're going to have Zingerman's cater our tailgate, and we're going to drink some beers and have some sandwiches.
What kind of sandwiches?
Wisconsin, I'm in bratwurst. So I think it's a function of where you are. Yeah. If I'm in Buffalo, I want wings. I want wings in Buffalo.
If you're Poland, you want borscht.
No one wants borscht.
I guarantee Adam's had borscht before. Adam?
You know what, Chewy?
Yeah.
I've been around borscht. Not having a borscht, okay? Not having a borscht, okay? I've seen it, okay? So don't make assumptions that you think it's necessarily happening. It didn't really happen, okay?
You know what that means? That means he had the option of having borscht and chose not to, okay?
Been in the presence of borscht
That is
before.
not an endorsement for your favorite food over
and I've been
there.
around liver and onions and liver and all that stuff too, Chewy. I don't eat that either.
All right, Adam, we appreciate you hanging out with us this morning. Have a great week.
How do you guys feel about the game How do you feel about the game this weekend?
Terrible.
Malik Willis at home.
Absolutely terrible.
They got a chance. Just LaFleur's he's got to have his A game.
And look, we talked about the Chicago Bears and the way that they won last week. The Packers do happen to play the team that the Bears beat over the next few weeks. But everything we're hearing about Malik Willis is he's no good. He's certainly not Jordan Love, so you will have to change your game plan.
They're going to have to win by running the football, playing good defense, and making some special teams plays. If you're telling me that Malik Willis is going out and throwing three, no, I don't think that's happening on Sunday. Okay, they're going to have to win. They're going to have to win 17-14 or whatever it is, right?
Yeah. And of course, grind
it out. And
everybody knows, Adam. Everybody knows the Packers are famous for making great defensive plays and not stinking on special teams.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to force Anthony Richardson into some mistakes here. That's what they're going to have to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're not saying it can't be done. We're just saying we don't think it can be done. You know what I mean?
Could it happen? Sure. If I were to log on to ESPN Bet or head over to Pato, would I bet it for it to happen?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Could Adam have borscht for lunch? Possibly. Is he going to?
No.
We don't think
so. No. Impossibly, Jen. Okay?
Adam, you're the best. We love talking to you. Have a great week. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
See, now, people were getting on us on the ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line for saying that Malik Willis is not that great. And then you got Adam Schefter saying they're going to have to win by running the football, defensive stops, and special teams. What do you think that means? Can you Google Translate that for me, Gabe?
Can we jump in a DeLorean and get your guys' special teams and defense from the 90s?
No. You know what?
I'm
going to pick them for spite. I'm just telling you right now. But Joshy, have your finger ready on Monday.
For Chewy was right?
Yes.
And look, we opened the show talking about accountability.
Yes.
If Malik Willis doesn't stink, I'll speak for myself. I will say I was.
I'll issue.
Hold on. I'm
hold
working on the word.
I didn't say when I was going to pick them to win. It might be in the fourth quarter.
Wait, they're going to win the fourth quarter?
No, I might wait until the fourth quarter to decide whether I pick them or not.
I thought you were over here saying, well, they won the third quarter, and so therefore it was a victory.
You guys don't have any feeling whatsoever. It's like they have no chance, and all of a sudden they win.
I don't have that feeling, no.
You don't?
Well, because typically if I have the feeling of they have no chance, I have the feeling of they have no chance.
All right. Okay, that's fine. I'm just telling you.
And look, if Malik Willis stinks, I will issue
Doesn't stink.
A long statement.
Doesn't stink.
That he doesn't stink on Monday.
Maybe like State of the Union type thing?
Yeah, I will issue, we will come in, I'll put on a tie, I'll do everything.
Let me ask you
I will
this.
issue a formal apology
Let me ask
to
you
Malik
this.
Willis if he does not stink on Sunday.
Because you've been on record with this guy. Would you rather have Ryan Tannehill starting or Malik Willis?
Borscht. He'd rather have borscht. We got to take a break on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We roll on right after this.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman here for Carbless, my go-to drink this summer. Handcrafted right here in Wisconsin, Carbless is a ready-to-drink vodka and tequila cocktail. Perfect for hanging out on the patio by the grill, chilling on the lake, or tailgating at the Brewers game. Plus, it's got 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten, and just 100 calories. All summer, make sure you're following Carbless on Instagram at Drink Carbless for your chance to win a Summer Bliss prize package. Find Carbless online and at retailers near you. Carbless. Liss is more.
Gabe Neitzel here. I know you've already heard me talking about how Mentality has helped me over the years, but there are others like me. Jason has been using Mentality for a while now and is loving the results.
I have gotten a handful of friends, probably a couple dozen, especially those that are closer to my age, maybe even a little bit older, because I just tell them, you got to check this out. Do not wait any longer. Just go and admit it. Yep, you're at an age where things are slowing down. I promise you, you're not going to regret it, and that's truly what I get. I'll get a phone call after, like, man, I feel like a kid at Chuck E. Cheese right now.
Learn more today at LowTUSA.com.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. And as I tried writing this radio commercial on my phone, that darn autocorrect always seemed to give me fits. Which got me thinking, if you're looking for a stress-free, painless, wow, that was easy home mortgage process, give Great Midwest Bank a try. Find an experienced loan officer at greatmidwestbank.com to guide you to a state of tranquility. Yeah, autocorrect would have never caught that one. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 128-ounce selected varieties Blue Ribbon Pails, $4.99 with coupon. 3 to 6 count selected varieties M&M's, Snickers, Dove, or Twix Novelties, $3.99. 4 count selected varieties Dannon Multi-Pack Yogurt, 2 for $8. 64-ounce selected varieties Old Orchard Juice, 2 for $5.
I am starving.
Oh no, never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, oh, pizza, yes, I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against San Francisco on November 24th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
I'm shopping at Century alone next time.
Enter by November 6th.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What was a rebound? What did you just say?
Robust.
Robust.
You could say robust. Doesn't robust sound like a nice word of saying Just a click below fat?
No, buddy, you're not fat.
Well,
you're
there's
rebound.
Well, Charles Barkley.
There's another
A round mound of rebound.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Ever been close to tragedy? Or been close to folks who have?
Gabe, what little treasure did you find on the interwebs now?
Well, so, all these things are coming back. Fanny packs, bell bottom, all these things that, were kind of popular in the 90s. But this isn't even something I would think, early 90s, certainly. But my wife sent in a group text that we're in with a bunch of our friends from Urban Outfitters, a vintage Sony Walkman, AM/FM portable cassette player. So, this is the classic one. Like, everybody's seen it. It has, those orange, foam pads that go up over the ears. So, just the classic Sony Walkman. Anybody have any idea what this would cost? From Urban Outfitters.
What it would cost when we were kiddos? $30, $40,
No.
$39.99.
That's it?
Is it like an actual vintage one, or is it a reproduction?
Oh, it's a reproduction.
Oh, it's definitely
for sure.
a reproduction.
Oh,
Because you said it's Urban Outfitters?
Yeah, it's Urban
I'm just saying that
Outfitters.
when we were kids, this probably cost $40. And I'm guessing my parents were like, no.
Yeah.
Because if we get you one, then we got to get your sister one, and that's $80.
Yep.
And, oh, look at that. Christmas is 5 months away. Why don't you hope and pray for it? That's what it would have, that's the conversation that we would have had. So Urban Outfitters is selling this sucker.
Yep.
For how much?
Josh, you have any guesses?
Well, I just Googled it, and the numbers are preposterous. I wasn't even looking for specifically the one you have.
Yeah.
All of them are this expensive.
$219.
Yeah.
From Urban Outfitters.
That's crazy.
This is, like you said, Jen, this is quadruple the price of what it was when you were growing up.
And unless you're raiding your mom's basement, like I will have to do, where are you getting cassettes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some bands are selling cassettes now.
I
Selling
have-
cassettes?
Yeah.
I have 3 old ones from my mix days where I'm
sure.
like, I can't get these tunes anywhere.
Did you record them
they
off the
were-
radio?
Oh, I did that. Oh, yeah.
No, they were probably more of friends who had bands and who had original. I've Googled to see if I could find them on Apple Music. It doesn't exist. So I'm holding these things like they are my precious.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to lose the songs. But other than that, Josh, you can buy them.
Yeah, cassettes have become big in the punk, hardcore, and indie scene again.
Really?
It was, it's just kind of a reaction to vinyl becoming big again. So they're just finding another new medium because the physical media thing is taking off. Books are selling more than ever. So are vinyl. All that stuff is now back in vogue.
Do you guys have record players?
I do.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't
Sometimes
use
I
mine.
like going and listen to,
But isn't it all about the speakers? Isn't it all about
And
the sound
amps
system?
And
Yeah, it's not as good, but
But if you have a good record player, it's a good piece to have in your home.
Mm-hmm.
The dirty little secret is most of the stuff people buy doesn't actually make it sound better, and that's what it's advertised as.
It does, again, if you get the right stuff.
Yeah, you can make it sound incredible.
Yes, it will sound
just
better because it's not compressed down the
Right.
way an MP3 would be. But again, you would, as Josh mentioned, have to spend lots of money.
Yes.
More than the $219 for the cassette player to make that vinyl sing the way you want it to.
Who's doing this? Who I even think about even if you are a person that shops at Urban Outfitter and sees it and is like, oh my God, this would be an incredible accessory.
Yes.
Is anyone spending $220 on a AM/FM cassette Walkman?
I would gather they must be.
sound quality's got to be terrible.
It's not good.
But I'm just trying to think. I guess I need to articulate this better. In my phase of life where I would have purchased this, I couldn't afford it. I would have been I could spend $220 on an AM/FM cassette Walkman, or I could pay my rent.
Yeah.
Or I could put gas in my car. That's what I'm struggling with is the group of people that I feel would want to buy this to tap into that
nostalgia.
Maybe, but no, if you're nostalgia, you got the coin. But I'm in the nostalgia space and I'm not buying an AM/FM
Well, that's the
cassette
thing.
Walkman. It'd be like the kids, right? I picture a college age kid walking around campus and wearing one of these things.
Yeah, because you bought it for your kid.
As a statement.
As somebody who was in a competitive housing market, parents have a lot of money that they give to their kids. And that's where that's coming from. Because I don't know many 25 to 35-year-olds that have $400,000 cash, but a surprisingly amount of them make
Surprising number.
make offers on homes, which hey, good on you if it's your money, but I got a feeling it ain't. It's also like the headphones. I mean, we wear the over-the-ear ones, but the Apple ones are like $800. And you see those everywhere you go.
What? $800 for headphones?
They're preposterous.
God, I am such a get off my lawn person right now.
I love it.
$800
Join the team.
For headphones?
Here we go.
Embrace your hate.
What are we
Embrace the
doing?
anger.
I misspoke. The most recent ones are currently $550 for the
Nice.
over-the-ear headphones.
Oof, gosh.
And those, like, you go to a college campus, those are everywhere.
Well, yeah, because they signed up for a credit card with a 29% APR. So in the end, it'll actually cost like $800. That's where you got your number from.
You were already doing the math for them with the interest.
We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Lots to get to in the second hour of the show, including Sophia Minnaert to talk about those Brewers.
Our guy Adam Schefter earlier today was brought to you by the Island Resort and Casino. It's a premier resort destination, largest north of Milwaukee, with everything you like to do in one awesome location. Visit islandresortandcasino.com and book your total experience today.
Westbound 94 going to be a slow ride. We do have an accident right at Mitchell Boulevard. Left lane is blocked because of this crash, so watch out for the backups all the way to the Marquette. We've also got delays eastbound 94 with an accident at 68th Street off on the left shoulder coming out of the Zoo interchange. More delays through the construction zone, though, from Elmhurst Road all the way to Highway 16, by the way, in Waukesha County. We've also got some delays with an accident coming out of the Mitchell interchange into the Plainfield curve. It is off on the right shoulder, and squads are with it, but it's going to be slow right past that point all the way up to Oklahoma Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, hazy, warm, a high of 84. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 62. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The Island invites you to fall into golf with late season rounds at Sweetgrass or Sage Run. The vibrant fall colors and cooler temperatures make for great days out on the golf course. Fall golf rates run September 16th through the end of the 2024 season, with tee time starting at $75 and stay and play packages starting at $110. And submit your 2025 golf package request early to guarantee choice dates. Plan your fall golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, and summer is here. But if you want your parking lots and asphalt to be ready for winter, you have to remember the 3 R's from Johnson & Sons Paving. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's constant standing water, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare customers or tenants away because of a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today before minor repairs end up being huge headaches. Schedule an appointment at johnsonsonspaving.com.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Bruston Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I would say James Earl Jones because he's more grandfathery. Every role he kind of played, he was.
Yeah, Darth Vader was super grandfathery.
Very loving.
La, 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 Luke. Luke, I am your father.
Those Star Wars #1 are horrible. You got to go to the originals. No.
Yeah,
No.
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The original 3.
It was good when he didn't even know who Darth Vader was.
Aw, I've interrupted happy time.
The best one was Empire Strikes Back, the original.
Yeah, you know who's in that?
Who?
James Earl Jones.
Where?
Dip bleep. He is the voice of Darth Vader.
Are you sure? I didn't know that.
Look, your father wants you to check out the delay problems we're having at the loading dock. Now, I know you'd love to just sit there and keep being not slim, but we got to work a little today, okay?
That was from Star Wars.
I know.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride and she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited.
And if you missed the first segment of the show this morning, you can always find it on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcast. But we did play a clip of Darth Vader from Star Wars and asked Chewie if it sounded like James Earl Jones, and he did acquiesce. He did say and admit that, yes, in fact, it did sound like James Earl Jones, even though yesterday he said no one knows that James Earl Jones is the voice of Darth Vader. For what it's worth, 93% of people said they did know that was
I'll take that as a loss.
Oh, yes. Well,
my first one.
It is. It's pretty significant. So Jordan Love, we talked to Adam Schefter earlier. We talked to Adam Schefter earlier about Jordan Love. He still is sitting with, he believes he will be back for the Vikings. That means the Packers have to get through these next 2 games with Malik Willis likely under center. But there was an interesting conversation on KBN in the afternoon. You can listen to KBN right here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. And apparently there was, they were underwhelmed. There was some underwhelming, I don't know. They were underwhelmed about Jordan Love in week 1. And I got to be honest with you guys, I don't think that's fair. I think everyone, for the most part, other than the Chiefs, maybe the 49ers, you could argue, I think everyone was pretty underwhelming in week 1. I know, Gabe, that you felt like Jordan did not play as well as you expected him to play. But I keep going back to no preseason. You know, like, where were these guys supposed to get the rust off? Where were they supposed to shake off the sloppiness?
That's what the joint practices are for. But, I mean, yeah, Jordan Love didn't play great. He's not going to play great in all 17 games. That's just the reality of the situation. Patrick Mahomes isn't going to have 17 perfect games. Lamar Jackson, as the league MVP last year, didn't have 17 spectacular games that led him to his second league MVP award. So, I mean, did I take that as an indictment of, oh, man, Jordan Love's the reason they lost? No, they were sloppy all over the place, giving up 400 yards of offense. That's not good. When you're a defense, not being able to turn those points, and obviously Jordan had something to do with that, not being able to turn those turnovers into more points than they did, I mean, it all works hand in hand. Keyshawn Nixon bringing that ball out of the end zone. There was sloppiness and plenty of things to point to all over the field.
But here's the problem. Now he's going to sit for another 2 weeks or 3 weeks without throwing a football, and
more.
He was rusty. I mean, he was not accurate at all.
No.
He had some nice throws, but he certainly wasn't accurate. Probably not going to throw it all this week because they don't want to re-aggravate that thing. So this is the problem with preseason. You know, when you get dialed in with reps and reps and reps, and they don't have to be live against a quarterback. It just has to be a rhythm. And it took us back in the day when we played in the preseason. It took us 3 games to be like, all right, now I get it. Roll over at 5. This is perfect, beautiful. So that's the problem. That's why I want him back maybe 2 games before they hit that stretch when they start playing really good teams, because he's got to be crisp. He's got to be crisper with these guys.
Is there a way to solve that, Chew? Because teams aren't going to go, whew, you know what? We got to start playing in the preseason more. Like, they're going to be taking a preseason game away sooner rather than later. There's only going to be 2 of them, and more teams. Yes, there are still old school guys like the guy Andy down, in KC that's going to play their guys early.
Yeah.
And certainly I think that helps with them looking as good as they did last Thursday. But more and more teams are going, it's more important to be healthy going into the season than anything else. We're prioritizing our team health than anything else. So is there anything else they can do in these joint practices to find the rhythm?
No, not if that's, what they're going to do and treat the preseason like that. But the thing is, you cannot go from 75 miles an hour to 100 and expect to be perfect. It just doesn't work.
But wait a minute. Aren't there diminishing returns on that as well, Gabe? Because, again, you're protecting health, right? Quote, unquote, theoretically. But if you don't play, and I'm not saying the Jordan Love injury was a byproduct of not playing in the preseason. Those 2 things don't seem connected. But there are guys who will get injured because they didn't have the proper, to use Chewy's reps during the preseason. So at some point, aren't there diminishing returns on not playing in the preseason?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm just reacting to what teams are doing. Right? Obviously, they don't think there's a correlation there. If they thought that there was a correlation of, okay, our guys are going to be injured more early in the season, then I think they would try to find a more happy medium than just, okay, only the young guys are getting out there, only the second and third teamers, those are the only ones we're going to see during preseason.
Well, one thing I noticed are calves. Everyone has a calf. Everyone's pulling a calf. That's from conditioning. That's from not being out there in 90-degree weather and sweating and getting your body used to being depleted with fluids and hot and having to rehydrate and dehydrate and rehydrate and dehydrate. Never seen so many calves in my life. And I had a calf, They suck. They're horrible. And people, when they say, oh, you got a calf, you're like, come on, suck it up, But it's one of those injuries. I think that's and we treated training camp to condition your hamstrings, and that's why you get pulls, because your lower body isn't conditioned the way it should be.
Well, remember when we talked, I think it was last year, about Jaden Daniels at LSU, and Jaden Daniels felt like a big reason why he had taken the leap that he did from the previous season was because he was doing simulated reps, if you will, and he was doing it basically with VR. And what they were doing is they were speeding up the pace of play in the VR so that when he set foot on the field, it was actually slower than what he had been working towards. Do you think that is the future of this position specifically, Chew?
I think it should be. To me, it's probably like a batter going into a batting cage and turn it up to 102. When you're going to face a guy that throws maximum heat. So then you you can feel the speed of what's going on. Would you agree with that from a baseball standpoint? Instead of just stepping in there and facing 102 and like, ooh, that's a little faster than I thought.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think, guys are certainly going to do that from a baseball perspective.
But I'm even talking about just doing it.
Speed, but also, okay, so that helps out Jordan Love. But if he's sharper, but what if Dontavian Wicks isn't that sharp with his cuts
right,
yet?
Because timing is such a huge part of the success at those positions.
The problem with this, Jen, and I just went over the 5 plays that we're going to do in Catch 22.
All 22 going to be coming out later this week on YouTube.
I knew there was a 22
Just
in
because you got the ooh sound, I don't think
But I look at, and me and Gabe looked at a couple plays, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? The interception to Musgrave, like. And I understand why he got his ass ripped now. I'm like, you shouldn't even be involved in the play. Like, what are you doing?
So
some guys
that a
just
rep
cannot process.
Okay.
They can't process fast enough. I was slower than most, off the line, but I could process. I could bam. I know exactly what I'm doing right now. You get a guy, and there's been plenty of guys, tight end that runs 4.4, that has to sit there and go, should I take that against cover 2? Let me think. And they can't do it, and you're worthless. It's just some guys can process extremely fast, and some guys can't. And if you can't, sorry, you can't play.
So the reason we bring this up is because on Kyle Bruston Nortman's Twitter account, they put a poll out that said, did Jordan Love live up to your expectations prior to his injury on Friday? And 56% of people said no. But I think a lot of people are willing to dismiss it, and not dismiss it outright, but dismiss it mostly because of the travel, the field, the cramps, the timing with the receivers and whatnot. Like, I think people believe that Jordan Love, when he does get back out there, I know Chewy mentioned he will now have sat for several more weeks, feel like his trajectory will continue to go up. It is not like, well, what you see is what you get with Jordan Love week 1.
Yeah, it's a data point, and if more games like that happen, then you start to question. But when you're not questioning anything after one game. There were enough of really good throws. Like the throw he had before the injury to Jaden along the left side, rolling out to his left and then dropping that one along the sideline. Whoo! Yeah, so you saw the wow play, but then he also had the one where he spiked it at Jaden's feet when there was nobody around him on the crossing route.
Yeah.
That was bad.
And a couple of ones to Wicks were, they're catchable, but that's got to be a lot easier from and he'll get there. It's just the reps. He hasn't had the reps. And now he's not going to get reps, so there's no switch you can flip. And where everything's like, oh, it just clicks. It's kind of like a shooter in basketball. You don't shoot a basketball for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Don't expect to go out and shoot 45% from threes.
Shoot to stay hot, shoot to get hot.
Yeah, it just doesn't work like that.
I found it interesting that, because the sentiment of most of the people was that they were underwhelmed, and I saw a lot of people talking about, well, now you got money, you have to perform. Did we not learn anything from what we witnessed last year? Like, Jordan Love was good. He also had stretches where he didn't look so good. It's not quarterbacks don't go out and perform like MVPs every single time they touch a field.
You know why, Joshy? You know why?
They're used to Aaron Rodgers.
Because it's flipping hard. That's why. It's hard.
And
it's not easy.
So to be like underwhelmed, it's like, so what then? You think Jordan Love just isn't good enough and they misevaluated, they paid him too much money. The last 10 games were an anomaly?
No, I think people, again, to your point earlier about the money, is when you get paid that high amount, expectations go up.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're Rashawn Gary. Then they don't go up.
Yeah, or Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs.
I mean, can I be honest with you guys? I don't think that most Packers fans could pick Rashawn Gary out of a room. You're a room full of people walking around. We're here at the 3rd Street Market Hall. He's walking around. I mean, he's a big man, but I think most people be like, not able to pick Rashawn Gary out of a room. Jordan Love, on the other hand, again, with the money comes the spotlight, and that comes increased expectations. And I think they thought he would light the world on fire. And to Chewy's point, it's tough.
It's funny.
And there were a lot of other extenuating circumstances. We've mentioned a lot of them here. But I think week 1, generally speaking, I'm not going to sit here and write the book on people after their week 1 performances.
No, but it's also kind of hard to spot them on the field, too.
But, there we go.
It is. I mean, right? That's fair.
You're not getting any pushback from
What do you
me.
mean? He had that big sack.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, please break it down in choo-choo magoo or whatever it is that you guys do, okay? I don't know if he doesn't need to know the name. I don't.
I feel as the lead of the show, you should probably know the name of the show. Yes, he doesn't need to know anything. You need to know things.
Tune into Choo Choo Magoo with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chimera on YouTube. That was good. I appreciate the Beatles reference there. Football season is back, and I am excited to get back on campus with Celsius Energy Drink, which fuels my active lifestyle with their game day energy. Drink Celsius like me and college stars Travis Hunter, Jalen Milroe, Dylan Gabriel, and more. Explore all 27 refreshing flavors. My favorite right now, guys, gotta be honest, it's the cherry cola. The sparkling cherry cola tastes just like your favorite soda. Stay active and energized all game day long with Celsius by your side. Celsius, live fit.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
An accident now westbound on 94 at Mitchell Boulevard, still blocking the left lane, so careful. Delays all the way back to the Marquette. Eastbound, the earlier accident at 68th Street's been cleared out of the way, but we do still have delays from Highway G to Highway 16 and then from 84th Street through the Stadium interchange. 41 northbound, right about at Silver Spring, looks like we got some debris in the roadway, so watch out for some possible delays or maybe even a lane closure through there. Northbound 4394 going into the Plainfield curve. Just got a car left over on the right shoulder with an accident, but it's still going to be heavy all the way up to the KK River. Traffic is brought to you by Racine Danish Kringles. Add Kringle to your football tailgate and make your friends and family happy. Order at kringle.com or call 1-800-4DANISH. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny, hazy, warm with a high of 84. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 62. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziga on 94.5 ESPN.
The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Are you looking for a reliable ride? I've got you covered. It's ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta. I use AccuTrans Group for my private transportation needs during the college football season. AccuTrans is a veteran-owned business dedicated to providing unmatched corporate, personal, and event-related transportation that you will use again and again. From corporate travel and weddings to group events, AccuTrans Group caters to every occasion. Booking is easy, safe, and dependable. Visit AccuTransGroup.com to get a quote or to book a reservation today for reliable and safe transportation.
For general contest rules, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com. Finally, warmer weather, green grass, birds chirping. Don't spend your weekend surrounded by all that junk. Get your free, no obligation, same day estimate from Two Men and a Junk Truck. You'll restore your sanity and reclaim your space when Two Men and a Junk Truck pulls in your driveway. Visit twomenandajuncktruck.com for your free, no obligation estimate today.
Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
I'm really looking forward to this.
Me too.
She absolutely nailed it.
Are you talking about Jenny Sambeline? Yeah, Jenny and her pendant, the music in a mother's heart.
Hi, Rick. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Monica.
Hi, Jenny. Hi, Jenny.
Jenny, we're going to produce your pendant design as a limited edition collector's item and put a few of them in all of our 8 Kessler stores.
Congratulations, Jenny.
Wow, this is huge.
Jenny, we expect the music in a mother's heart to sell out very quickly.
We'll also make a few available online.
I designed that pendant from the memory of how my mother made me feel when we'd sing together.
How often did that happen?
Constantly. We'd sing along with whatever was playing on the radio, or sometimes we would watch a musical on TV and sing along with that.
At just $124, the music in a mother's heart is going to sell out lightning fast.
I'm buying one.
I'm buying one. I bought the prototype the moment I saw it.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Do you like your pickles warm or cold?
Want my pickle a little warm.
Warm's good.
It's better than cold.
Cold
You
can
got
be
shrinkage.
good, too.
Yeah, well, no,
Cold
shrinkage
can
gets
be good.
involved. It's not great.
On 94.5 ESPN.
We will get to Sophia Minnaert shortly, but I figure this might be the good time to get some help. Not generally speaking help, specific to this topic.
Like Beatles help?
I need somebody. No. Well, I do need somebody. And I figured, Chew, you might be able to help me with this. So last year we showed you guys, as we were getting our basement redone by our friends over at PCI, when we pulled the drywall off of the basement wall, there was a smorgasbord of squirrel food, pine cones and nuts, and they were clearly storing their wares in our walls for the winter.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, that is a lot of alliteration there. That would make a feature writer proud. Anyway, so we've been hearing scratching, right?
Yeah.
On our walls. So we know we have another squirrel problem. So we're getting somebody out there to take the squirrels, find the squirrels, trap the squirrels, whatever. But until then, I took a 2x4 and propped it up underneath the part of the house to kind of block their pathway, if you will, right? Kind of jam up their progress. You know what those suckers did? Chewed through the wood.
Yeah.
Chewed through the wood.
Mm-hmm.
Now, could they have chewed through the 2x4? Sure, they could have. Did they? No. You know what wood they chewed through? The house wood.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have an even bigger hole because apparently they were so adamant, so strong to get to their nut collection that they chewed through my house. I didn't realize, Chew, that squirrels were so pesky. They were such nuisances.
And ground squirrels are terrible. What I did, because one of our decks at the lake had a facade on it all the way to the ground, and they dig under there. So there's a company that would put like a wire mesh 2 feet down, because they're not going to dig that far down. They'll give up. And they're not chewing through wire. It's just like chicken wire, but it's very, very, the gaps in it are so small. Or you could poison them, which is one of my favorites, you know.
Poison the squirrels?
Sure.
With what?
Poison.
Poison. It's right there. He said it in the sentence.
They're just rats, you know.
What if you poison it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Counterpoint. You poison it and it goes down into the hole to die.
Then you have a problem. Then you got a smell issue.
Then I got a dead squirrel in between the studs of my basement wall.
Well, what do you think traps are doing? They're not catching them and then let them go in the woods somewhere.
There's live traps.
Wait a minute.
You know?
Yeah. First of all, you can. Second of all, I don't really care about that. I will kill a squirrel. I'm not sitting here like
the mesh, and it worked great.
So it does look like it does look like whoever had the house before us knew this might be a problem.
Yeah.
Because there is all of that foam fill.
Sure.
And wire,
Wire mesh?
Not mesh, but like a
chicken wire?
No, it's like come on, guys. It's like you'd use it to scrub your pan.
Oh, Brillo pads.
Yeah, like that. Like they've got a bunch. I'm sure it's for, keep. It's called something though. Wire mesh. Is that it? Is that just what it's called? Anyway, stuffed up in there. So the whole thing is covered in it except for the spot where they have chewed.
Yes.
I got a big problem.
Sounds like it.
So what
Another thing they'll do
so
is they'll cry. Where you're.
They'll cry?
No, your dryer vent, where the exhaust goes from the house. I mean, they'll crawl up and make a nest in that thing.
I do have
That's why
wire
you gotta
mesh
that.
on the
I'm telling you,
bottom.
the mesh works great.
All right, so maybe I'll get some more mesh.
Yes.
But again, the whole goal is I got to make sure it is out. I can't worry about it being in when we mesh the hole.
And then make sure your trees around your house don't allow the squirrels to crawl up them and onto your roof, and then you'll have the problem in your bedroom.
Steel wool is what you're looking for.
That's the word. Thank you very much. Steel wool is exactly
that's a
what I
Brillo
was looking
pad.
for. Yeah, same thing, but very similar.
Yes. Yeah, that'll work.
Gabe,
Either
you don't
that
have these
or-
types of problems, huh? You're a homeowner.
Haven't had a single squirrel problem.
No.
0 squirrel issues.
I could send the Blammer over. He eats those things.
Squirrels?
Did I tell you the one time he
Squirrel
picked
soup?
one up like an idiot on a tree?
Wait.
And it sliced him. It was beautiful.
Wait, hold on. So I can sell my squirrels to the Blammer?
Well, he's going to come over and
take care of the
pop
problem
them for you. But he saw a squirrel and granted, he had a few pops and decided to go grab the squirrel on the tree, and the squirrel went, and it looked like he had a horrible shaving accident. His face was all scratched up. He was bleeding everywhere.
Was there any part of you concerned for your friend?
Not whatsoever. No. And I blame Andy Reid. The igloo theory.
Which is?
He taught me the igloo theory with kids. In the igloo, the kids wanted to go touch the fire, right? Kids touch the fire one time, never going to touch it again, are they?
Doesn't that change when it's like a 70-year-old man?
Not really. It's still just as
You have to
entertaining.
remember, that's what I was just going to say. You have to remember that the primary reason these two hang out is for the laughs,
Yes.
for the chuckles.
For Chewy's laughs.
And
specifically.
And having a squirrel judo your face.
How do you lose? Like, if
Look, he's just visualizing it and he's laughing.
How did that even happen? Did he lose grip of it and it just went crazy on him?
No, he didn't get its front legs or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just dummy slapped him. And he didn't know whether to let it go because he thought it was going to jump on him, so he kind of took it for about 8 seconds.
I got a lot of our loyal listeners who are weighing in on the squirrel issue. Jen, just contact Advanced Wildlife. They're good. My daughter's boyfriend works for them. Ask for Taylor. The green poison you get from Old Fleet Farm, supposedly when they eat it and they die, they don't smell. Ron in the Key weighing and saying, you know what's funny? Rabies.
Old Blammer get tested?
No. I think, look, when 20% of your blood is scotch, you're covered. You're okay.
Kind of eliminates everything.
It kills everything. And let me tell you what, they ain't going to need formaldehyde. He is preserved already.
Join me out at the Wisconsin Country Club. I love being out there. Great golf course. It's beautiful, challenging, always in pristine condition. I have some
Excellent
friends
squirrels, I hear, out there,
yeah,
Gabe.
Yeah, don't have to worry about the squirrel issues out there. No food and beverage minimums. Beautiful course that is challenging. No assessments ever with the Wisconsin Country Club. But maybe you're looking for something a little bit more out of your club. They have pool, tennis, pickleball themed Sunday fun days at the pool, so they have something for everyone in your family. They're also giving back to the community. Find out more about Swing for Cindy and help raise money for ALS on October 5th by going to thewisconsincountryclub.com. That's thewisconsincountryclub.com.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Well,
we've got some backups right now. With an accident on westbound 94 at Mitchell Boulevard. The left lane is blocked right now, so watch out for that. Delays coming out of the Marquette. The eastbound side's going to be heavy from 84th Street through the stadium. Westbound 894 backed up out of the Mitchell all the way to 68. That earlier accident, northbound 43 in 94 in the Plainfield curve has been cleared. Still seeing delays around the curve all the way up towards Oklahoma Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by Racine Danish Kringles. Add Kringle to your football tailgate and make your friends and family happy. Order at kringle.com or call 1-800-4DANISH. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly sunny, hazy, warm, a high of 84. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 62. Weather's brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash, where you can expect nothing but the best unlimited wash memberships, state-of-the-art wash technology, and powerful free vacuums. Located in Oak Creek, Waukesha, Greenfield, and now Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hi, it's John Reed from NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. You can watch the most live NFL games all in one place, which means you can watch the Rams and the Colts and the Vikings and the Bengals and the Buccaneers and the Chargers, or whoever you're rooting for, all in your living room. But not literally, of course. That would be dangerous. Watch every game every Sunday with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Sign up at youtube.com/NFLST. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
Hey football fans, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
It's time for the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirits deals in town. Located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
The Milwaukee Brewers capped off a rough stretch of games with a 4-1 loss to the Colorado Rockies on Sunday. The crew were 2-4 on the week, losing both series to the Cardinals and Rockies. Despite the rough stretch, the Brewers remain 9 games ahead of the Chicago Cubs in the National League Central and just 3 games back of the Phillies for second place in the National League and a first-round bye. The team's magic number to clinch a playoff spot sits at 10 with 19 games left. Pat Murphy and his Brewers will look to get back to their winning ways this week on a West Coast road trip, starting in San Francisco against the Giants and ending against the Diamondbacks.
This has been the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
The Jen, Gabe, and Chewy podcast is sponsored by Celsius Energy Drink, and I am here to tell you it makes a huge difference in my mornings. With a unique blend of essential energy and key vitamins, Celsius is your partner to an active lifestyle. My favorite, the Peach Vibe. Learn more at Celsius.com and pick up Celsius Energy Drinks today.
From the latest happenings on the diamond.
With the team here the last couple days, Eric Haas had a big weekend, and pitchers love throwing to him. I mean, he's a great teammate.
To all the insight and expertise on things outside the ballpark.
Some of these deals, and of course the way that the wild card picture is right now, with the narrative is that there might be teams that are both buying and selling.
We only turn to one person. Batter up. It's Sophia Minnaert on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Brought to you by 2 Men in a Junk Truck. From unwanted furniture to full-service residential and commercial cleanouts. Go to 2meninajuncktruck.com to book your free, no-obligation, same-day estimate.
Very interesting times in Brewersville, and we go to Sophia Minnaert for everything surrounding the Brew Crew. Good morning, Sophia. How are you doing today?
Hi, guys. Doing well. How are you?
Doing very well. Would you care to remind the world what the magic number is for the Milwaukee Brewers this morning?
It would be 9. We are down to single digits.
Very exciting. Very exciting. But again, we've talked about the expectations for this Brew Crew, for this team, and how, we expect them to be in the postseason and hopefully make a deep run in the postseason. I got to tell you, last week's performances were not all that inspiring. How did the team react to not performing the way we had become accustomed to them performing, especially offensively?
Yeah, it was a really odd week because that's an area that they have been pretty consistent. And, to lose back-to-back series as well, that's something that they had not done since the end of July and the first week of August. It was right around the trade deadline that they did that. It was against the Nationals and the Braves, if I remember correctly. So, it's even just losing back-to-back series just is unusual for them, that they've done such a good job of shortening stretches where they're struggling. The longest losing streak that they've had all year has been 3 games. They're the only team in baseball that has not had a losing streak of 4 games or more. I think that tells you a lot about the team, right? Especially considering their youth and their inexperience. They've done a good job of shortening those stretches. So, offensively, it was just like more chase we were used to seeing. They've done such a good job of putting the ball in play and not being so home run reliant. And that obviously affects the running game and how they have consistently scored runs. So I think, last night I think was really encouraging it was just a really solid game all around, right? You get an off day. They know that they're going into a really challenging stretch here of 13 straight and against good potential postseason opponents. They're going to be seeing a lot of the Arizona Diamondbacks, 7 games against them. So I think, they understand what they have to do. And Murph said too, it's like there was some pressing going on last week, right? Everyone kind of knows the situation. You want to wrap up the division. You feel like you maybe have to do more to chase down the Phillies and the Dodgers. But at this point, it's Al Davis, right? It's just win, just keep winning and just see where you end up.
Sophia, which players are in line for Golden Glove?
Well, I would certainly hope that Bryce Terang gets one. If he does not get one, I mean, that is
we're just blowing up Golden Gloves and they don't mean anything anymore, right?
We're just
really
we're gonna
he's that good at something.
Yeah, so the Gold Glove awards are all by position, and then the Platinum Glove goes to the overall best defender in each league. So, look, I think Bryce Terang, if he does not win one at second base, which last year that went to Nico Horner with the Cubs, I mean, we should just make him one, do an on-field presentation. I don't know. We're going to have to write that. We're going to file an appeal. I don't know what we're going to have to do with that one. I think you could also make a really good case for Blake Perkins. Brenton Doyle, who we just saw with the Rockies, he's got a phenomenal arm. He's been great defensively, but, Blake now has 4 home run robbing catches. He's in double digits for defensive runs saved. I mean, what Blake has done defensively is, should not go unnoticed. So in terms of on the Brewers roster, I think those are probably your 2 best candidates.
Dinger last night for Garrett Mitchell. Is he the guy they need a little bit more consistency to make sure the offense has a lot of good firepower heading into the postseason?
Yeah, that's we've talked about that with Murph, right? You have to just in the postseason, home runs obviously are king, right? And so the way that the Brewers have scored, it's like they have not been one of the top home run hitting teams in the National League. They've been sort of middle of the pack, but they've scored in other ways. And I think that makes them a really interesting matchup in the postseason because it's unsettling, right? The pressure that they put on pitchers. They see a lot of pitches. They run like crazy. They have great base runners up and down the lineup. And then they also have the ability to hit power, right? Like Willie Adames, William Contreras. And then you throw in a guy like Mitchell, who he's got pop. If he's disciplined and he's worked on his ball strike, he's got it, and he's certainly capable of doing that. Rhys Hoskins, of course, who has awesome postseason experience. He seems to thrive in the postseason, and he's definitely capable of giving you power. So they're going to have to do it differently probably than other teams because they just have not consistently mashed like a team like the Phillies or a team like the Dodgers, right? Like their top 4 hitters in their lineup. But you need guys that are capable of it up and down. And I think, Garrett, if he can get into a good place, he could absolutely be that guy and contribute to that.
Sophia Minnaert hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning. You're talking about the offensive side of the ball. Let's talk about the pitching staff for a minute, because I know Murphy talked about how 13 games in 13 days, you got to get a little creative with the staff. What do you see them doing as far as who they're going to run out there every night?
Yeah, well, I guess let's start here. Fortunately, they're healthy, right? Knock on all the things. This is maybe the healthiest that they've been with their pitching staff at this point in the season. So, yes, 13 in a row. This is like the last long stretch with just 17 games remaining. So this is going to go fast, but you've got your five, right? That you've had. They had Aaron Savali last night. Colin Ray and Frankie Montas will start the rest of the series here. The one that could really be interesting is DL Hall, who we've seen 3 times now since he returned to the team. He was awesome in that doubleheader against the Reds, going 7 scoreless. Just saved everybody, honestly, game 2 of that doubleheader. And then he's been pitching out of the bullpen, but it's been more scripted appearances to keep him on a starter routine and keep him stretched out. And his stuff has looked really good. I think this is the best version of DL Hall that we have seen in his limited time here. So he could definitely be an option to maybe be a 6th man. They could go with an opener because they've got options in terms of length, because Joe Ross has been so good. Aaron Ashby has come up and been so good over his last handful of appearances. Bryce Wilson is on the IL, but if he comes back, you're looking at another really good length option. So they have coverage and they have interesting options. You could piggyback left-handed, right-handed. So it is going to be interesting what they do. It could be, the weekend series for the Diamondbacks are looking ahead when they come home for that monster series against the Phillies, 3 games against them, and then another 4 against the Diamondbacks.
Sophia, who's the veteran leader or leaders of this team? Who's the guy or guys that's going to stand up before the Philadelphia, Arizona, and say, hey, guy, this is the season right here. We got to win all 3 of these to get that bye. It's going to be huge. Is it one guy or a couple guys?
It's a couple guys. So Murph, at the start of the season, he's outlined kind of who he thinks the pillars, that's how he refers to them, like the pillars of this team are. And this veteran group, they meet like at least once a month. Then he meets with the team overall, usually once a month, and then sort of as an as-needed basis, right? He has individual conversations with players all the time, but this pillars veteran group that you're asking about, it's the guys that you would expect, right? It's Willie Adames and William Contreras and Christian Yelich and Wade Miley and Freddie Peralta. Devin Williams is in that group. I don't want to leave anybody out. Reese Hoskins. So that's the group that he goes to the most. And again, they meet regularly. He's talking with them individually. They just had a meeting on the last homestand as we got into September, and it was obviously a tough homestand. So he lets them dictate, what needs to be said, whether it's individually to the team, as an offensive group, as a pitching group, because as I'm sure this is similar in football too, right? With like offense and defense, the position players and the pitchers, it is one team, but just the rhythm of your day is different. Like the work is different. So it's helpful to have guys in each of those, right? Freddie with the starters, Devin as the closer and as the reliever, and then several position players. And look, even the guys who are on the IL, Christian Yelich, Wade Miley, Brandon Woodruff, they're there for guys too. And they're still, doing everything they can to be sort of as valuable as possible and just be great resources. So, yeah, that's been the group that Murph has identified from the beginning.
You mentioned the bullpen, and Devin's been so good. I think it's 7 scoreless now for him in his last 7 appearances, and Trevor McGill sharp last night. Are we going to see Brian Hudson again before the end of the season after he was sent down last week?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he just pitched Saturday, and the minor league teams are all off on Monday, so he should be back at it this week with Nashville. And, Murph told us that when they sent Hudson down, that was the toughest conversation he's had with any player this season about having to option them, because it really wasn't about performance. Hudson has had just a such a good breakout season, right? I mean, all of the multi-inning appearances he's given them, such a great lefty option. He's been a huge reason why this bullpen has been so good. But, the velocity was starting to tick down for him. This is a workload he's never had before in the big leagues. And, they just wanted to get him right. And so you can option him. It's a little bit of, roster roulette of kind of who is out of options and has options. And then just get him on a kind of a scripted schedule, a little less pressure, get him right, and then bring him up, and hopefully you get like a fresh, strong version of Brian Hudson for the stretch run here. So yeah, I would absolutely anticipate seeing him at some point.
I just realized this looking at the schedule, but the Brewers open the season at the Mets. They close the season hosting the Mets. That gives me plenty of time, guys, to get my effing wah sign ready. Get my effing wah sign ready to go at AmFam Field. Cannot wait for that. Would you like to join me in the effing wah club, Sophia? I'll be president of the club. You can be vice president of the club. Maybe we'll need a treasurer or a secretary or something. We can bring these jokers along.
Can you refresh my memory?
Effin' wah?
Yeah.
Sophia, effin' wah? Remember Reese Hoskins?
I'll let you do the...
Across to McNeil.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah. And McNeil was like, you're the dirtiest player I ever played against. Yeah. And he was like, effing wah. And he's doing the eyeballs, rubbing his eyeballs.
That's almost as good as the guy for the Dodgers that pitched for the Red Sox.
Oh, when he made the pouty face? Yeah. Joe Kelly?
Joe Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Kelly, everyone get your crying face emojis ready.
Exactly. That's why I brought it up today. It gives people plenty of time. You got 2 weeks before the Mets come to town, and you can absolutely torment those Mets when they get to AmFam Field. All right, Sophia, thanks for hanging out with us this morning. Have a great one. We will talk to you again soon.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
Brewers back in action tonight against the Giants. Wrapping up that series tomorrow. If you love sports betting, you got to make your way to the sportsbook at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee tonight. Greg Matzik, Ben Brust, and I will be down there for the Weekly Wager. It's a weekly show on sports betting right from the sportsbook broadcast booth. And we will be giving you our best bets of the week. Remember, I went 4-2 last week, feeling pretty good about keeping up that streak. If you're in a rush, they have free 20-minute reserved parking spaces near the Skywalk. They have figured it all out. It's a new era of sports betting at Potawatomi. We want you to get in on the action.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Time is running out on the Brewers regular season. Hurry up and catch the crew battle the Diamondbacks September 20th through the 22nd for College Night and a Brewers Puffy Vest giveaway on the 21st. Get your seats now at brewers.com/tickets.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. And for most all of us, here's the reality. Life happens. But when those moments occur, 2 words come to mind. Common sense. For nearly 90 years, Great Midwest Bank has made the home buying, building, renovation, and refinancing process straightforward, while too many others overthink and overdo. Our portfolio loans are GMB's not-so-best-kept secret. Apply online at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Grab your lederhosen and get ready for Oktoberfest at the Golden Mast this Sunday afternoon starting at 1:30. Enjoy a fun-filled day with German food, beer, and live music on Okauchee Lake. Get your tickets at goldenmastin.com.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
For your next night out, make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel, your dinner destination. Aria, nestled on the second floor of St. Kate, is an artful dining experience that captivates with its culinary creativity. Delighting in its offering of artisanal American cuisine, the restaurant transcends tradition and leans into the realm of playful and inventive flavors. Come and experience the magic of Aria, where every bite is a work of culinary artistry. Learn more and make reservations at aria@stkate.com.
Hey, Milwaukee sports fans. It's Brad Nortman from Kyle Bruston Nortman. You've invested too much into that nice ride, so don't settle for a gas station car wash. Treat it to a Tsunami Express car wash. State-of-the-art wash technology, powerful free vacuums, and unlimited wash memberships. Now with 5 locations across Greater Milwaukee, Tsunami Express is your go-to spot for a flawless finish and a first-class car wash every time. Trust me, your car will thank you. Sign up for a membership online at TsunamiExpress.com and get your first wash free. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
Milwaukee College Prep, dedicated to closing the opportunity gap for children in Milwaukee, redefining what's educationally possible so more children can pursue their dreams. Join me, Good Karma Brand's founder CEO Craig Karmazin, and Milwaukee College Prep Thursday, October 17th, and take a stand in closing the opportunity gap for Milwaukee scholars. Your support means quality education accessible to over 2,000 scholars in Milwaukee's most challenged communities. Milwaukee College Prep is closing the opportunity gap. To learn more and purchase tickets, go to MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com and click support.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Wallace. Right now at Universal Windows Direct, get 0% financing for 60 months, restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to UWD.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Big hurt.
I heard that's like, eh.
Ron in the Key Wagon saying you guys should slow down before you take on a sponsor.
Here I am.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
For your next night out, make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel, your dinner destination. It is nestled on the second floor of St. Kate. It is an artful dining experience that captivates with culinary creativity. Every bite is a work of culinary art. Learn more and make reservations at aria@stkate.com. That's aria@stkate.com. Man, some people are real dumb. I mean, obviously not present company included, obviously. But did you see the story about this kid who had a Lego stuck up his nose for 20 years?
The man.
Well, I was about to say, at that point, he's no longer a kid. He's become a man.
Well, that's questionable. Question, did he say that he thought his mom had taken it out? Was this the old, like, she went up there with some tweezers, couldn't find it, it was like, I got it! We're good.
So this Arizona man, 32 years old, he believed he shoved a Lego piece up his nose when he was age 6 or so back in the 90s. Despite the mom previously thinking she had got it out, turns out a piece of it remained in Norton's nostril.
Man, that mom knew she did not get that Lego out.
Years.
She knew she did not get that Lego out. And she was like, I got to get dinner on the stove. I got to go pick up the kids from camp. So let me see. Okay, yep. Oh, you're good. You're good. We got it. And she just let him go. Right?
Did it show the Lego? What part of the Lego was it? Like,
it's a little yellow piece.
Yeah, just a little. So, yeah, some part of it is, I mean.
It broke?
My guess is it was on, like, attached to another piece.
Yeah.
And that piece, like, so you pull out one piece.
Yeah.
And you have that piece, not realizing that the little, like neon
the people head?
light. Similar size.
Yeah, like the hair on the people head, right? Like you got a person head, and then they have hair on top. The hair stayed, and the people head went, if you're believing Gabe's theory about how this all went down.
There's nothing worse than a tree you can't get.
I agree.
Am I right?
Well, you know, I had that sinoplasty done about a month ago, and the boogers were epic.
Coming.
Just galactic boogers from that procedure. They were just
nothing
enormous.
Better than pulling one that comes from your lungs. You know what I mean?
It's got a little stretch to it as you're getting it out there.
I can breathe.
I coined it a brain tickler.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Don't you know you have a Lego up your nose for 20 years? 20 years? 30 years. Almost 30 years.
Almost 30 years. 26
What
years.
would be worse, ear or nose?
I don't know. Both are bad.
Yeah.
Also, When I go to the doctor, if I'm sick, they usually do the old inspect up the nose thing.
Sure.
Was it not visible? Was it that far lodged up that?
I mean, yeah, you're right. They check all the face holes.
Yeah.
They do, right?
And when you blow your nose, you would imagine there would be movement.
Yeah,
You'd feel it.
The kid had dark hair, so it might have been hiding in there because I'm assuming his
behind the
nostril
trees.
hair.
He had just blew it out of his nose during a shower.
You know when you know
He
you're
was
old.
farmer blowing for sure, right?
Well, because according to this, my doctor told me with the dry, hot summer months, it's really helpful to blow your nose while you're in the shower because the humidity of the steam and everything, it really helps clear everything out. My initial thought with the thing flying out is I had somehow hurt myself or blown a mass of something that wasn't supposed to come out. The sound it initially made, I thought it was a rock or maybe a tooth.
Out of his nose.
Yeah.
Okay.
After cleaning it off, the way the Lego memory came rushing back to me was kind of like the movie Ratatouille when the food critic gets transported in his mind to his childhood. I immediately had to show
Hey,
everyone.
what's worse, blowing a tooth out your nose or a Lego?
A tooth.
You
got more issues if it's a tooth.
He might want to check his white blood cells.
Do you guys have any?
Don't you think your body would attack it? No?
I'm sure it tried.
Yeah.
It's a plastic mass.
I never stuck anything up my nose.
I wasn't going to. Your kids, though, eating anything, shoved anything up the nose?
No. The
No
worst I
swallowing
had it.
quarters?
Worst I had it as a kid is no. The worst I had it was I sat on a pencil.
Oh.
Yeah, bad. The way it was positioned in the chair, it was sticking up,
I was gonna
and
say,
I
how
sat, and it went not up my butt, but like
Yeah,
in my cheek,
yeah, of
and it stabbed me, and I had to go to the doctor because they were worried about lead poisoning.
Yeah.
You know,
Have you
back-
ever eaten a penny?
Yeah.
Yeah, they come out
Yeah.
the same. Yeah.
What do you mean? Why are you guys saying that? Like, yeah, of course. yeah, I ate a penny.
I was a kid once.
Yeah.
It's not like I ate a penny yesterday.
Have you ever eaten a penny? I have never eaten pennies.
I can
I'll
tell you
what.
this: if Blammer ate a penny, that thing ain't coming out. That thing is dissolving.
And on that note, Wildy and Tausch is next.
Westbound 94 backed up out of the Marquette all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. We got the eastbound side heavy from Highway G to Highway 16 and then back on the brakes from 84th Street through the Stadium interchange to 35th. Westbound on 894 heavy from 27th Street to 68th and southbound 43 a little bit tight from Hampton to Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by Johnson & Sons Paving. Follow the 3 R's of asphalt maintenance to avoid minor issues becoming huge headaches. Reseal, repair, and replace. Learn more at johnsonsonspaving.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, hazy, and warm, a high of 84. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 62. Weather is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Ever dreamed of teeing off inside American Family Field? Now's your chance with Upper Deck Golf. From November 7th through the 9th, experience a one-of-a-kind round of golf, hitting tee shots from the upper deck throughout the stadium to custom greens below. Enjoy VIP treatment with great music, cold beers, food, and golf challenges at the Clubhouse Festival inside the stadium. Upper Deck is open to all ages, but tee times are limited, so book now. Head to upperdeckgolfing.com to book a tee time today.
$1 million. That's big, really big. This September, Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is handing out a cool $1 million, and you've got a shot at winning your share. The big $1 million.